All right, Chainlink is holding up very nicely right now with this continued downward pressure we're seeing in Bitcoin. Let me go to the link chart right now. This is it on the daily. I want to talk about what I foresee happening in the future and what may be coming up. To start with, I'm going to go to one of my favorite tools, that is tradingview.com, and start with their technical analysis for Link. On the 1 day, we see a nice strong buy. Oscillators are showing buy. Moving average is a strong buy. On the 1 week, we have a buy with oscillators neutral and moving average is a strong buy. And on the month, we have a buy, oscillators are neutral, moving averages a very strong buy. So everything is looking great for Link. On my last video, we were talking about this continued Bitcoin pressure to the downside we were seeing. Right now, Bitcoin is pushing and pulling the markets. Most coins are following Bitcoin, and as it usually happens in times where there's no big crypto news. Of course, the ETF for Bitcoin, the ETFs got approved last week, so that was the last major news. And Bitcoin's been giving up some gains, which has affected coins across the market. But Link, let's just zoom out and look at Link real quick. Link was at about, well, where were we? About 7, we'll say, back in October when this crypto push began up and reached a high of about 17. So 2.5 times is what Link increased in about 2.5 months. It had built this nice, strong base. Now, of course, if you were holding Link throughout this time from May of 22, you had to engage in quite a bit of patience as you just watched it range up and down, up and down. But the October push in Bitcoin and crypto across the board has given Link a very nice lift. And this is the weekly chart. Everything is looking fantastic for Link. Sure, we've dropped out of the bottom of this rising channel that we've been in since November, but we've regained that and everything is looking just fine long term. Let's talk about short term though. That's what this video is for, is to talk about short term on the daily and the weekly coming up. Last video for Link, we had seen this price fall out of the bottom of this channel and it was resting somewhere right around here. And I was concerned that it might not make it back up into that channel and we might start experiencing some lows. I was concerned that that might happen because of this chart right here on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still suffering from some lows, some big drawdowns after it tagged 49,000 after the ETFs were approved. But people were saying that this run up had gone up so far since October, November, and December that even if the ETFs got approved, which was expected, that there was going to be a strong amount of resistance right here between 48 and 50,000. A lot of sellers were going to be there, people taking a lot of profit, and that is what has happened, moving monies around. And so we've seen this fall in Bitcoin from a top of 49,000 to a low of 41.6. Now, when I made the videos the other day, I think we were right here. We had just experienced this big drop down in Bitcoin and was sitting on this day right here, this small green day. Since then, Bitcoin did fall out of this rising channel, close out of the rising channel. It has gained some back and given some back. We're sitting here on this green day right now. So we're really just waiting to see what's going to happen with Bitcoin. There are some, in fact, many calling for Bitcoin to at least revisit 40,000 here, breaking out of this channel, hitting 40,000. And there are some that over the next few weeks / month believe 40,000 will be given up and will fall down into this 34 to 38,000 range to rebase, find a new foundation as we wait for the halving of Bitcoin coming up in April. And then many are expecting all-time highs in Bitcoin. That all makes perfect sense to me. It does make sense. Looking at the charts, zooming out a little bit, it would not be unusual for price to fall down, hit 40,000, pop back up, and then come back down into this range and perhaps even fall down here. Again, if you zoom out on the weekly, that would be nice corrective activity for a fantastic move up that we've experienced really in Bitcoin since, what's that? The first of 2023, the last 2022. I mean, look at this. We were down at 16,000. We're up at 42,000 right now, you've got to expect some pullback. And this does look, while it may seem extreme when you zoom out, it's really not extreme. If we revisited 35,000, it would be above these highs. We would still be in the higher highs and higher low, which is the definition of a nice upward trend. And if price revisited this and then bounced back up for all-time highs, that would be perfectly healthy. That would be a natural occurrence. One of the people that I follow on Twitter that I like, his name is Justin Bennett. He is calling, here's his chart for Bitcoin right here, talking about this rising channel we have. And he says, after testing the channel resistance I shared for weeks, 44,500 is now resistance. Bulls need to reclaim that high to have a shot at 50,000, but caution is needed while below that mark, in my opinion. And this is what he's noting, is this rising channel similar to the one I have drawn, not exactly, but similar. And then he's noting that the price has fallen out of the bottom of Bitcoin and may head this way. But if you look at this chart, there's really no clear indication that the price is going to head down or that it's going to head up. It's really just kind of still ranging, as we've seen. Let me go back to the daily in Bitcoin here. So there's really still no clear indication, although he has more experience in the market and I do look at him for guidance. So it's still not going to surprise me for, I think he was one that was calling for it to fall below 40,000 and maybe even hit 38,000. It's not going to surprise me if that happens in Bitcoin. Now, Link has been doing very well and has been holding up that downward pressure better than some other coins. So Link has made 3 green days right now. It's actually made a higher high. So here's a low, here's a high, here's a lower low, and it's made a higher high, which is fantastic news for Link. So it might be that Link is just a stronger coin and is going to resist any Bitcoin downward pressure. That being said, if Bitcoin does fall down to 40,000, don't be surprised if Link falls down as well and starts visiting this 12 range. See, it's got the same kind of constructive range that we had in Bitcoin right here between, what's that, 10.5 and 12. And if Link falls down into there, might be a good time to pick some more up if you are long-term Link. I don't see it falling below 10 anytime soon. It's just too strong of a coin right now. I think Bitcoin would have to be down around 34, maybe even less for Link to do that, just because Link is doing so well still in this upward rising channel. So my only caution would be if we fall out of this channel and Bitcoin falls to 40,000, that we may revisit 12 on Link. But until something happens with Bitcoin, we really don't know. Bitcoin was at 43,000 a few days ago when I was making this video. Now it's at 42.4. We just got to wait and see how Bitcoin is going to react. And it's slow right now. It's just slow. There's just really nothing pushing the crypto market right now. So we're just slow. And that's not a bad thing. Okay, so that's not a bad thing. Let me go back to Link again and just remind ourselves. You know, of course, we all want Link to go to, 100 right now, tomorrow, please. We all definitely want that. There's no doubt about that. But you still have to look at the progress that we've made over the last 3 months from 7.5 to 15. That's double. So even after giving back some, we're still at doubling the lows where we were at. And so that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine for 3 months. And to be honest with you, this looks really good. I mean, it looks really good. Still in this upward channel. This weekly has a lot of room to go up to hit the top of that channel. I think for this to happen, Bitcoin's going to have to help. I don't think Link's just going to pop up there by itself while Bitcoin falls to 40. I don't think that's going to happen. It could. Crypto is a strange beast sometimes, and you might see a nice run up there. It certainly has the room, but my opinion is it would need help from Bitcoin, and my opinion is Bitcoin's not going to give it to us right now. My opinion is we're going to tag 40. And so we'll have to see if that happens and how Link reacts when it does. But still, long term, goodness gracious, guys, this is a beautiful chart. Everything's looking fantastic. Hold if you're in for big gains. I would be expecting this to be a discount when we turn around in January of 2025 and be looking at Link. We would say, wow, 15 was a fantastic price to pick some more Link up if you are so inclined to do it. All right, I'll help you keep you updated as I follow the price with you. Y'all take care.